Ladies and gentlemen, there is no controversy anymore. Every bit of evidence that we have tells us how his name is to be pronounced.
And welcome to Hebrew Voices. This episode is a special celebration on the occasion of finding the 1,000th Hebrew Bible manuscript with the full vowels YeHoVah. I want you to hear from some of the team scouring Hebrew Bible manuscripts in libraries around the world, looking for the name YeHoVah, and others who have been key in spreading the truth about this vital information to Israel and the nations. I begin the conversation, Michael Rood.
I was doing a series, the Rood Awakening series from Israel at that time, and I had already filmed and had heavily invested in the name Yahweh. And even today, now it is more than 250,000 DVDs that have gone out over the world. And I was so invested in this that I did not want to listen to Nehemiah's explanation in his research, which began really at 4 years of age as he began learning Hebrew. And he wanted to know the name, and it was such a passion for him. But honestly, I did not want to listen to him because I had already put my flag on the mountain. I didn't want to listen to him. But a few years passed, and he brought forth evidence that I knew I could no longer ignore. Yesterday, I got a call from Nehemiah Gordon, and this is a truly historic event that transpired just yesterday. Ladies and gentlemen, Nehemiah Gordon. Welcome, Nehemiah.
Shalom, Michael. It's great to be here. This really is a historic discovery. For the last 17 years, this has been my passion to find God's name in the Hebrew really more than 17 years. But 17 years ago, I found the first two manuscripts with the full vowels YeHoVah, and that's what I shared with you. And Michael, what I love about you from the moment I met you at that cafe is you had this yearning for truth. And yes, you were invested in DVDs, but the bottom line is, what is the truth of the creator of the universe? And that's, I think, how we connected there. We've now accessed thousands of manuscripts, and as of this recording, we now have 1,010 manuscripts of the Bible in Hebrew with the full vowels YeHoVah. And this blows my mind, Michael. The name has been a secret for over 1,000 years. And when the information started to come out, some of the detractors said, well, that's just this one scribe. Well, that's just two scribes. Well, that's just 5 scribes. Now it's 1,010 manuscripts. And these go back to the earliest manuscripts with vowels from the year 895 for 1,000 years, for over 1,000 years, all the way up until they stopped making manuscripts. Throughout this entire period, the scribes consistently, when they put in the full vowels, they put them in as YeHoVah. And I'll tell you, Michael, I come at this as a scholar. If I found out his name was something else, this is what I learned at the university. You can't have a dog in the fight. You've got to look for truth. And you have to accept that truth even if it's inconvenient and it doesn't match your preconceptions. So if I had found that his name was Yahweh, I would have embraced that. I would have no problem with that. Yeah. I didn't find that. I've been looking for Yahweh. I have a team of volunteers now, and I tell them, if you ever find any other vowels, let me know. We found 2 manuscripts out of the thousands we've looked at that have alternative vowels that do not have the vowels Shvach Olam Kamatz. Instead, they have Shvach Olam Patach, which guess how that's pronounced in Hebrew, Michael? That's also pronounced YeHoVah. So out of all the manuscripts, only 2 have this alternative, and that's still YeHoVah. We now have 3 manuscripts with a Babylonian pointing, which is an alternative dialect of Hebrew, not the standard Hebrew you find in printed Bibles and in most manuscripts. It was used by the Jews of Babylonia and in Yemen, and there it's also YeHoVah. I mean, all of the evidence now is converging, and it's really definitive. I put out a study recently on my website, nehemiahswall.com, called The Mistake That Got It Right, and there I go through some of the new discoveries we found, and we found things in these manuscripts nobody knows about, things that you won't find in any introduction to biblical Hebrew or any teaching on the textual criticism, because we're looking through these manuscripts and we're finding new things. And I put that in my study. Another study I did is 10 rabbis who speak out on the name. Those 2 studies together really bring together a large portion of this. I'm working on future studies, which are really going to lay out all this evidence. Michael, I want to tell you the verse in which we found it, which is one of the coolest things in this whole story. So I pull up the manuscript. It's number 1,000. And I go to see, well, what's the passage? I look it up in the context of my Bible permit. The first thing that appears to me is Deuteronomy 18, verse 5. And it's only 3 words on the line that have survived. Part of it's missing, eaten by worms. The words that survive is Lisharet b'shem YeHoVah, to serve the name of YeHoVah. And that's the 1,000th manuscript. that has the full vowels YeHoVah. Later down in that column of the same page is Deuteronomy 18, verse 15. A prophet from your midst, from your brothers like me, YeHoVah your God, will raise up from you, and you will listen to him, obey him. And that had the full vowels YeHoVah, Michael. That was the second witness. And Michael, may that prophet, may he come soon. We are both standing before him and proclaiming the name of his Father, YeHoVah. May that be soon. Amen.